Yes, this is Pax Dei live gameplay. What I want to do today is I want to present you the first hours of the game, primarily the first 10 hours, because if you're not enjoying the basics, how are you going to enjoy the rest of it? Pax Dei is going to be an open world sandboxy survival MMO where you build your base and you have quite some options here already. Especially my favorite is building the foundations further up for your buildings. But we'll get to the how amazing houses can look and how much variety you have there a bit later. Now, before I get into the details, thanks Pax Dei for sponsoring this video for us. But also, the public alpha starts at the 14th of November. You can be trying out the game. You can be joining their Discord. And don't forget to wishlist Pax Dei also on Steam. Don't forget, everything you see, Pax Dei is still under early development. And the team is committed to fixing any issues. So if you're actually in the alpha and you find stuff, throw it at them, pretty please. Now you can already see my little settlement there in the distance, which I pretty much choose a horrible spot for. The map is gigantic, ginormous, really amazing. And there's a lot of things to discover. And before you ask what are these things, we'll discover them later on. But first, I would like to say next time I'll claim my plot a little bit closer to a river, because there's some material we're looking for. The first thing that really popped in my mind and that got me super excited is just how great the game looks. I know a game has to play great, but it just already feels fantastic. Just from the immersion level of walking through this forest, having the light shafts just go through everything. I mean, it's just gorgeous, okay? Absolutely gorgeous. But that's not the only thing. It also looks fantastic when you're felling trees, because you're actually whittling down that little mother trucker and getting him broken. The game begins very simple, because the first thing you craft is set axe we're actually having. You go in your inventory, one-handed stone axe, construction hammer, torch. For that, you'll pick up some branches from the ground, and you'll pick up some rocks from the ground as well. And then you can straight up already begin farming the resources you need. And here's something interesting. You might see this is taking a while to get down, but I'm also using the absolute basic axe, and my wood cutting is not really leveled yet. The more you wood cut, the better it gets leveled, the faster it goes. But also when you finally build your steel axe, things are going so fast. That gigantic tree, yes, I can fell it too. Just not yet because it's too hard. Now, why am I pointing out that it takes long to fell a tree in the beginning? Because it gives you this journey feeling. You're not getting handouts here. The game is not giving you 4 billion resources for falling one tree. You get a reasonable amount of resources where you then can craft stuff. And it gives you a very good, immersive journey through the game. With this 20 wood we've gotten right now, we can start crafting our first wood chopping block. That's 10 sapwood, so half of our resources already. And we can also build a campfire. That's almost everything from one tree gone. And the interesting part is now on the chopping block, we can make further resources. We can start making beams of wood, wood stocks, wooden packs, and they all need a certain building requirement, and we have a building level, which is 1 in the beginning. The interesting part is if you build this very on, you could actually fail building this because your building level is 1 and this needs a 2. Usually that gets done. My strong wooden beams are, for example, building 8 and I'm level 7. So I might actually fail building that beam. I could also succeed building that beam, but nope, failed, done, didn't work out. So I'm kind of like wanting to push my building skills a little bit up first before I go for more. Now the second interesting part, I didn't actually have planks in the beginning. I had to start crafting wooden beams to actually get planks. I had to start crafting wood stock to get another recipe unlocked. And this is kind of how the game progresses right now. You might not have every recipe at the beginning. You might not actually know how to get planks for building your pottery kiln. It just says you need planks. And then you get to start experimenting a little bit to find out what's needed, especially for the resource clay. There was something like, how do I make clay? I mean, like, do I have to like water down stone, right? Am I going to pick up stones and I'm going to get a water well and I'm going to make clay? That was kind of like the idea, but it was wrong. And that's where I'm saying build close to water, because water has clay right next to it. Coming back though to the feeling of the journey, of the progression of how well this actually does. I have a charcoal kiln to make charcoal. For that, I need 60 wood. Now I just got 24 for felling one tree, so it's quite some to get the charcoal together. With that charcoal, I can then make bricks, but already 20 of those are gone for 20 bricks. And the same goes for iron ingots. If I want to make an iron ingot, I need 40 impure iron ore and 80 charcoal. That's quite some trees to fell to really start that. And that's only the beginning, because now we also have to get the iron ore. You notice it takes a bit, but in this case, I like it. But I'm also saying this is something you gotta enjoy about this game. That it's not rushed. It's not quick. It's not get one of these iron deposits done and I'm gonna have 50. No, that was 2 impure iron ore. Now, obviously, hammering down the next layer might already give us 6. So you can go really, it's 1. Huh. Now let's see if we can get a little bit more, please. Surprise me. And that is 6 again. Oh, inventory full, didn't get more. It's a progress. It's a process to really get your things together. And you're going to take quite some hours to get the basics done. I mean, for me, figuring out everything and getting even the basic base whooped up there, I've already spent 2 hours just running around the world trying to learn the first things, you know, getting my little box here built in the very beginning, my first box, the water, everything. Some would find that too slow, but I find it extremely rewarding, because right now I get the stone anvil, and here for the iron axe head, I need 2 iron sheets and 1 iron ingot. And then I'll need to get blacksmithing. So first I'll need to actually make the charcoal to get my iron ingots together, right? Then we'll also, on top of that, need to get the blacksmithing workbench. So I need even more wood for that. And I might finally then be able to actually make my first armor with the armor workbench as well. I could be able to make my first weapons. But that along the line, probably 3-4 hours before I start getting like my first equipment, everything together, before we get that kind of stuff rolling and you can start tailoring and you have the tanning rack and you can start having your fletching tables so we can go for bow and arrow too. And interestingly enough, if we're talking about the basic regen distillery, that would be for making potions, right? Need 10 rough glass and 12 iron nails. But for the rough glass, we get 7 for 70 sand. Now, I've gotten some sand from destroying stone deposits so far, but I'm at 30, so I'll need 140. It'll take a while until I get the alchemy thingy together, but I will get it eventually. Now for the construction, we can start with the standard foundations. And well, as you can see, I can build this whole stone foundation, which I've been starting. And my plan is kind of to elevate my building a little bit. So I can then put these kind of stairs here, like, you know, turn them, align them, put them a bit higher, and make it look really good that you can actually have to walk into this to then follow up with like proper cottage walls on the top and more. But now I don't have a cool building for you, but I actually found something in the wilderness. And we're going to walk to this river so I can show you what's going on. And afterwards, what are these things? What can you find there? Now again, a river is good for clay. And you can already see these brown patches there next to the rock, roughly where my pointer is pointing at. That's clay that you can just pick up, and you'll need tons of it to be ready. But I found this village, and it is a village, but it's a completely player created village. One clan banded together, multiple plots claimed, and yes, you can allow others to actually build in your plot. You can have these plots combined, and this is truly a village. Here he has the foundation as I'm planning to build it into his house. Hasn't bothered to furnish it out yet, but there is quite some furnishing options already, going from shutters to baskets and cabinets with chandeliers, flowers, bats, chairs, bangs, woven hats, everything. But considering that this is early alpha, there is just so much more to come. So many more things they can add. I mean, that's just a simple matter of just getting more props in, right? I mean, here's all their chests with all their resources. So call it the town storage hall kind of thingy, right? We can be jumping down here, break our legs. And the interesting part I found is they even made a crafting square in their village. Yes, for their whole clan, for you and your friends, having like your little amazing crafting square where everyone can go and just build what they want to build. You have your treasure chest that, you know, right next to the tailoring table with tailor materials. I mean, obviously I can't look into this because this is locked. But so well put together. I mean, band together with a few friends, band together with a community as a content creator, join a Discord, join a Pax Dei Discord that's meeting up on a server to just form a village, and then also have a player-driven economy. I mean, this is truly a beautiful thing. I have to admit, I spent more time just walking through forests than gathering resources because I just really wanted to know what is everything, what can you do, what is possible, and what am I playing forward to. And this is where these buildings come in, and well, there's more. I mean, there's these quarries, there's a windmill, there is a stone circle, you know, there's so much. And there's also a giant cave. Now, what is this thing? And what are you actually playing towards to? Because you've seen, I didn't wear a piece of armor yet. I didn't have a weapon. I didn't even have a steel axe. And there is assessors, judicators, and they're most certainly not my friend, not my friends, not my friends. Ow. Oh, and there's a goad, a herald. This is gonna be something to, like, I won't be getting there fast, right? I'll be having to be heavily armored out, health potions, everything. And that was only one of the smaller towers. There's another one, and then there's also the big caves to discover. And again, we're in early alpha. So this is how it's running already. This is how beautiful it's looking already. This is how smooth the engine is already in early alpha. I don't know about you, but especially the immersion and the more slower crafting process, the more slower gathering process, which I do believe can be sped up a wee little bit, gives me more a feeling of journey, more a feeling of I earned what I'm working here towards, and not that I'm just getting crazy handouts from the developers. They're just giving me everything straight off the rip without me putting in work. I mean, farming some trees under this beautiful lit sky while hanging out with your friends. I don't know. The game is just something special. It's something I've always been wanting, like a truly immersive journey. Again, don't forget to wishlist Pax Dei on Steam, join the alpha, and give them feedback so we get an even better product.